Hello, today we will explore the capability of Funnel.io to back up Universal Analytics data within the Funnel tool and then allow us to use funnel dashboards to see and visualize that data. We have about 40 days to go before Universal Analytics tool is expired. So we have that time to back up our data that we have stored in Universal Analytics, if we need to, into some place that we deem fit. My recommendation is to use Funnel.io. Now, how do we do this? Let me go into Funnel. I have it open before me, right? So I'm on my home screen, and as you can see, that allows me to look at my, I'm welcome back. This is my name, right? And I have some data sources connected. Let me go ahead and show you how to connect the data source that is Universal Analytics. So we'll go to data sources, and you see here mine are all connected. This is my sample website, but the key part is I have data from 2019. If you have 50 months of data storage in Universal Analytics set up, then you will be able to get that data. If you have unlimited storage setup, you'll get all the data from the way back when you started. If you have 2-year setup, 25 months, then you'll get that level of data stored up in Funnel. So the data that's available in Universal Analytics, you can pull all that into Funnel. Let me show you how. So I'm going to connect data source. I'm not going to do a duplicate connection, but show you how. So very simply, connect a data source, go to Google Analytics, and you can use the account you're using, right? You can sign in using your Google Analytics credentials. This is what I'm going to use, right? And I will get into Funnel, and then the connector will ask for authentication, and here we are. So it'll ask me, do you want to go to Google Analytics 4, or do you want to go to Universal Analytics? I'm going to use Universal Analytics. I'm going to click Next, and it'll ask me what account do you need, right? So I am just going to type in what I needed. So here we go. So it will give you, and this is very key, and this you need to be very aware of. Depending on the kind of data you want to keep, you have these configurations available. So standard will give you these dimensions, these metrics. And by the way, you can do them one at a time. So you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Depending on what you want to get. So some people don't have e-commerce, so they don't need sales performance, they don't need product performance. Many of us have events, right? So you want to get those. Many of us have multi-channel funnels. You have site level metrics that you need with dimensions like page, right? And you may also need this if you're doing paid marketing. And of course, user level metrics. So you have this level of data that you can use. I'm going to go next, right, on users, and I can do confirm and connect, but I've already done this, so I don't need to. I will cancel out. When you do confirm and connect, this will start. I've only used 3 because that's what I really need. I don't need the others. I don't have e-commerce. I don't have product level data. But it'll start to load, okay? It'll take a little while depending on the data set you have, but it's still remarkably quick, okay? And the data will all be loaded here. Now, if the data is all here, how do you go about seeing it, right? That's the key. We want to know if you are taking a backup, you want to know what to do with it, right? So there are several ways. You could go into Data Explorer and see all the data is right here. You can choose the fields you want to see from your Universal Analytics. It's already pre-selected some, right? But you can do whatever you want. So you have this, and instead of just this data source, there are several others. See, I have 3 data sources. Remember I showed you that? So I can use this and load the data. And I have this now, right? So it all depends on how you want to do it and what date range you want. So I have just chosen January. My account is very small, right? So you can also add filters. You can add filters by the dimensions, okay? So you can do a lot here just to explore the data. And if you explore the data, you can just, you know, download it as Excel or Google Sheets. So that is one way, right? But a lot of us who are practitioners will be asked to visualize that data, okay? So to visualize that data so that our business users can see it. They really don't want to go about exploring stuff, right? They just want to see a finished product. So what do? Well, there are 2 ways. You can go right into Funnel and use their dashboards. And I've pre-built one here, a very basic one. This is just an audience overview, right? You can use, you know, custom source medium and so on. You see here, I have this all set up, but I am going to actually show you how to build them, right? So I'm going to go click on edit, okay? And I am going to go here and I'm just going to remove it because I don't want to look at audience overview in this way. I want to create 2 or 3 charts here, okay? I'm going to click on add chart. So you have these charts available, okay? I am going to click and get a bar chart. You see it automatically pops up here and you can move it, right? You can resize it and it snaps to a grid, which is amazing because, you know, in other tools you have to sort of move around and juggle it. You see these boxes are all set to a grid, right? And they line up with this other thing too. So I'm just imitating the audience overview. So let me choose a metric here. I want to edit this and I want to choose a metric. What do I want to choose? I want to do by country, let's say, right? Oh, it says no field like this. Why is that? Let me look, because that's a metric, right? So I want sessions. So I want sessions here, and dimension, I want country, right? So here we go. There it is. I have the data, and now I actually don't want all these countries. I just want 5. So max bars, you don't have to do it like this. You can do 5, right? And I want to show the labels, right? So there you go. I have all this. And let's say I want to resize it a little bit more because I want to add a couple more charts. Now you can go and, you know, add a chart, or you could go here and you could duplicate this chart and it'll automatically put it down, but you really don't want to put it down. You want to set it up here, right? And here I don't want sessions by country. Here I want sessions by, say, source of traffic, right? And here we have that. Now people generally want to look at you know, larger views here. So Google, my own domain, this is a self-referral problem that I later fixed, but it happened for a while. So anyways, I want to add one more, right? So I'm going to duplicate this. And again, it's easy to drag and drop. See, you just have to be careful what you're doing, of course, but it's very easy to move around. So here, session by source, I want to say, you know what, I want to do sessions by medium. So I want to see if there's any, right, medium. Here we go. And I have set it up to like 5 max bars, but they're really just 3. Okay. So here we go. And now the thing you always have to remember is just save it. Okay. And now I will go back to dashboards. When I come back again, I have this dashboard all set up. And some other thing that I will want you to please be aware of, if you select your data from Universal Analytics, this defaults to last month, but there's no data for last month, right? Universal Analytics finished up late last year. So what you have to do is you have to go in here and just select the date ranges you want. I find this really nice because I can, when I do this, I can aggregate on my level, right? So if I want to do daily aggregation, I can do that, or weekly or monthly, right? I've set it up to monthly because really my users, if there are any, won't need any of that. Again, I'm going to go back, close this, and there we go. I haven't made any changes to the dashboard, so we're good. Okay, so that's one method. You can do all this in funnel. So what did we do? We got the data sources, right, all the way back to Jan 19. We looked into Explorer, so we can go all the way back. We can choose whatever fields we want, but we are also aware that people don't really want to explore. They just want dashboards. And you can have access to, you can give access to these dashboards depending on your account level. And you have them all here, right, for whatever date range you want. Now, there's one more method for us to choose, and that is to actually send this data, share this, if you will, into Looker Studio, which I am trying to do, right? So I'm going to show you how I get to it. You can send this data into all of these places, okay? You can send it to BigQuery, Cloud Storage. There are quite a few places you can send it to. But for us, it's, Looker Studio template, which makes sense, right? Now, I'm going to go back to data shares and show you what I sent. So what I did was I took all the data that I've had in my 3 data sources, and I said I want to send all of it into Looker Studio, right? And then I go to Universal Data Backup in Google Data Studio, and this is the same kind of report, just slightly different in terms of pie charts. But what I'm referencing is this connector, and let me show you what this connector looks like. So it's all these fields that we had, that we're looking in the Data Explorer, that we're looking in the dashboard. Let's go to edit the connection, right? What you can do is you create a funnel, right, account, choose your workspace, which is, for me, let me go all the way back, home, and data shares. This is my data shares workspace, and this is my UA dataset. I have a different account I'm looking at. So here is the workspace, the different shares that I have, okay? I have another client who uses ActiveCampaign for this. Wonderful, right? So all I have to do is just create my dashboard in Google Data Studio if I wanted to, right? So it depends on what makes you feel comfortable, but the key part is that, and let me show you what it is, okay? Flex points. So Looker Data Studio, the thing that everybody asks, well, what will this cost, right? Right now, I have done this using the free plan. Yes, you heard that right. It's a free plan. I am allowed, in that free plan, I'm allowed 350 flex points, okay? And it tells you how these flex points are actually used. So initial setup 50, 3 data sources 15, so 65 flex points. For Universal Analytics, destination takes another 150 flex points. So if you have like 2 or 3 different destinations, it will add up, and then you'll have to choose a different plan, right? So funnel has many different plans, okay? But it all starts for free. And you could really, you don't have to go immediately into a business plan. You can buy more flex points, okay? And they start at 120 a month. For this kind of a tool, which allows so much, that's not bad for a business to use. But the key point is, when you start out and you want to kick the tires a bit, and you want to back up your Universal Analytics data, for free, you can use funnel.io. And as you can see, you can explore the data here, you can export it into Excel, you can create dashboards, right in funnel.io, and you can send that data into Looker Studio for 150 flex points. All this, by the way, is still within that free domain, right? And you can create dashboards there too. So whatever you want to do, this I think is a very reasonable and a very good opportunity for all those interested in backing up their data and also connecting to different data sources, right? So the data source that we talked about right now is just Google Analytics, but Facebook ads too. I've done Amazon ads as well as Microsoft advertising, Google ads, all of these, and there are other tools that you can get. Okay, so you can get data out from BigQuery also. You can put data into BigQuery also. I have done active campaigns, which is very cool. HubSpot data also. So there's a lot out here, 230 connectors, and you can use them all within the free tier, as many as they're allowed, of course, right? So yeah, that was about funnel.io and how you can use it to back up your Universal Analytics data, create dashboards in funnel.io, as well as be able to send that data out into Google or Looker Data Studio now. Okay, thank you very much for listening.